Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today I'm going to be doing issue 4 of the Fanhome release and build the Star Trek Enterprise D. Now I've had a flick through the magazine. We're going to be continuing on the Cobra neck that we were working on in the last pack. We're going to be doing some of the frame today as well. Now if you want to get this for yourself, once again I have put a link in the video description and I've also put a QR code on the screen there that you can scan, and it will let the guys over at Fanhome know that you come from the World of Wayne website and you can actually order this from pack 1. Now obviously I've got issue 4 today, but tomorrow I'm going to be doing issue 5. So for the next 2 days we've got Star Trek Enterprise D. Going to be fun. I get to wear the uniform for 2 days in a row. Let's jump straight into it. So without further ado, make it so. So as you can see, this is issue 4 here. We do get an inventory list. We've got some frame. It looks like each part comes with frame actually, but this is what I'm more interested in at the moment. This is stage 11. This is what we worked on last time. And just to give you a reminder, looking like that. We're going to be adding some window panels here, putting some electrics in, and it looks like we're doing the other side as well, and then adding a bit of frame. So this is everything we need in that stage. Let's get everything out. So let's bring over this Cobra neck section that we've got here. I'm going to move these wires out the way because it's this section I'm interested in first. And the good thing is we're not putting individual windows in on this. They all come on a plate like that. Now this is just going to slot into that point just like that there. And we are now going to be putting a reflector over the top of this that looks like that to hold that all into place. But we are going to be putting in some lights. So I've got this wire here. The one they're using in the magazine is the one with the yellow and black wire on it. What I'm going to need to do is bend these at a 90-degree angle. Just like that there. They are pretty easy to bend. And the reason we do that is because the one where this is going to go is behind these lugs just here. And if we have it straight, it's going to have a bad time. So I'm going to get one in on this side. Make sure that's locked in. And then I'm going to be putting the blue and red wire just into this side here. Now, to be honest with you, there's nothing stopping you bending that at 90 degrees as well. Because when we put them in this side, we're going to be having some cables coming out this side as well. But that's how that looks. I need to secure that into place. So we do that with BP screws in all 4 of these holes. So once I've got a couple of these in, that's going to ensure they're going to stay. Make sure you don't pinch the wire here under that reflector. You don't want to be doing that. And just put the last of these BP screws in. So they're all into place. I'm just checking they're not coming out when I pull them. And that is how that looks there. Now we can put that whole thing to one side. We do still have this light. We're going to be using that in the next stage. And bring over the frame. So this is the frame. This is what we worked on in the last pack. We're going to be following the outside line here. So this next bit of frame that we got looking like this is actually going to match the outside here. And it's going to go in just like that. And it's going to be held in with BM screws just into these 4 holes here. Now again, with frame pieces, I'm loading up my PH1 screwdriver. That'll give me a little bit of extra torque on there. And I have put in oil, so I can get that nice and tight in there. Now when you are putting frame pieces in, this looks like an easy stage. But you want to make sure you don't press down on the actual frame, only on the brackets. Because there's a danger of bending and warping these parts, which you don't want to do. So as you can see, when I'm putting these in, I'm actually just supporting it on the brackets as I'm putting it in, not making sure this doesn't touch. But this is the last screw going in here, as tight as I can get it. That's not going anywhere, and that's all there is to do in that stage. Which leads us swiftly on to stage 12. And as you can see, we're going to be putting the other windows in. And we're going to use the other light, which I'm guessing is this one here that we were using last time. Putting the reflector on the back. So these now are both completed. We're going to get to test the lights to make sure they come on. Then I'm going to be adding another piece of frame. So here are the parts for stage 12. I said we're going to be continuing the frame. It looks like we're actually continuing supports for the frame, but I put them to one side. And once again, as you can see, all the windows are mounted to the plastic there. So this is going to go in here. We want to make sure that the wire is out the way, because we don't want to be pinching that when we put the reflector in. I'm going to put the reflector in now, which goes in this way. And then once again, taking the light from last time, I'm going to be putting that into the edge here. Put the other side in here. It really doesn't matter what colour we're using, to be honest with you, as long as it's a cable with these lights on. And now I'm going to bend them at 90 degrees. I will use my screwdriver just to help me do that. 1 and 2. So they're now both at 90 degrees. They're locked in place. Once again, BP screws to hold that in. While we're doing that, again, make sure you don't pinch this wire here. And obviously this takes 4 screws. This is the last one just going in here. And as you can see, those 2 reflectors are in place now. And that's what the windows look on that side. So let's do a quick test and plug these in. They can plug into any of these 4 ports here. So I'm going to plug this one in here. And there we go. I've turned the lights off. I'll show you on the top camera there. Looking pretty good, isn't it? But that is that piece done. We're going to work now on the frame. And for the supports for the frame, we've got 2 narrow sections and we've got 2 thick sections, and they're going to go on either side of the frame. So we've got some going on this side and some going on this side here. So the first ones are going to be following the one we put in there, and it's going to go on there just like that, held in with BM screws. Now the little narrow section we've got is going to go behind it, so it's going to go into this point just there. Again, remember what I said about supporting just the supports and not the frame. That's why I'm holding it this way. But that's those 2 supports in on that side. Going to do exactly the same on the other side. So again, the thicker support's just going to go into these holes just there. And then likewise, the thinner support is just going to go behind it in these 2 holes here and here. And with those all in position, that's all there is to do in that stage. And this is how big it's looking at the moment. Pretty good, huh? So in stage 13, simple stage this one, we're going to be adding the main impulse engine, and then we're going to be putting a bit of the frame on. So here's the parts for stage 13. You can see another bit of frame here, and it looks like we've got a lens cover here. Bringing over the cobra neck we've been working on, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bracket here and I'm going to be putting this just into the end. So to get this lens in, it looks like this. We're going to be, there's some tabs just at the top. We want to slide this under the tabs here, just like that. So then that can fit over these 3 holes here. It's going to be held in with DP screws. Now it takes 3 of these screws. We are going into plastic, so you don't have to make it too tight. And when that's in, that should look just like that there. Now we do have this section here as well. We don't actually put that in yet, so I'm going to keep that to one side. Put the cobra neck to one side and bring over the frame. And now on the frame section, we're going to be building onto this side here. So this is the next bit of frame that's going on. It's going to go on just like this, matching again this outside line, and it's held in with BM screws just into these 4 holes here. And there we go. That's that frame in. Looks like 2/3 of this top saucer section is now completed, but that's all there is to do in that stage. So in the last stage of this pack, we're putting one more bit of frame on here, and then we're going to be completing that impulse engine light just at the back, and we do get to test it as well. So while I've got the frame up here, I'll grab the frame piece that comes this side, which looks just like that. And again, this is going to go over here, again held in with BM screws just into these 4 holes. This is the last BM screw just going into this support here. And again, I will show you on the main camera just so you can get an idea of how big this actually is. Excellent. So the first thing we're going to do to light this engine is we've got a little bit of diffusing material to put inside this. Now this comes in this plastic bag and it is clear. So let me open that up just show you what that looks like. Just a clear bit of plastic. It's actually just going to follow the directions here, so I'm going to just slot that in. Just like that. I'm guessing it does diffuse the light that we're about to put into that. Bring over the impulse engine here, and I'm going to be pushing that in this way round. Probably best on the top camera. So it slots all the way in like that, and that's what it's looking like from that side. So we're going to be taking the bracket which is going to mount this light to it. Now it can only go in one way, because when you put it in this way, as you can see, the lights fit flush through that hole there. If you try and put it in the other way, they won't. I'm going to hold this in place with just one single BP screw there. That will hold this light into place like that. All I've got to do then is mount this bracket onto these 2 points here. So it's going to go in just like that. Oh, let's get this in flat. And it's going to be held in with CP screws. So one there and one just here. I'm going to use my PH1, I think, just to help get them in. Perfect. So that's the light in place, and of course we do get to test it. So I'm going to plug this into a vacant 2-pin port, which I've got here. Again, I've turned the light out there, but that is how that's looking. I'll just show you on another camera as well. And that's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. So, certainly getting there on these 2 parts, aren't we? But that is all there is to do in issue 4. Now, issue 5, I believe it's issue 5, it's actually coming tomorrow, so you don't have to wait too long for that. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.